Hello and welcome back to my channel, How We Move the Decimal. In today's video, I am listing some drafts that I've made that my process is a little different. If you've watched previous videos, I tend to, so here's a little bit of my process as you're watching me list these things. I will batch photograph everything. And when I mean everything, I will go to my basement and go to my money pile or death pile or whatever, and I will grab a tub. And then I will photograph that whole tub. And if I'm feeling extra productive, I'll grab another tub and do it. I think the most I've ever done was 3 tubs in one weekend, but that's what I do. I will batch photograph whatever. I will then put them in the tubs that they're going to be in, label those tubs, and I will save them in folders on my computer under the tubs title. So like 73 is what I'm listing right now. So I'll put 73 as the title of the folder. I'll put all the pictures in there from that, and I will go back and I will write up the listing, like hand write the listing, and then I will upload all of the pictures to my drafts, and I will, like I'm doing right now in this video, go in and put all of the information, the shipping and everything into it. And I will have a whole bunch of drafts sitting and waiting in my drafts, and I will I usually send 3 a day. I know people recommend 5 as a minimum, but my problem is if I listed 5 a day, I would run out very quickly. So I'd rather list less in a day and be consistent than list 5 and then have a huge gap between listing. Now you're saying, well, why don't you just list more and take pictures and stuff? I'm part-time. It's just myself and my husband, mainly myself. We both work, and I have 3 children. In fact, while I was trying to make this video, I had to stop it, and it actually took me 3 hours to record listing 10 things. So it took me 3 hours to make 10 drafts because I have 3 children and it is summer break. So I am everybody's snack bitch. So the just constantly being pulled away. In fact, while I'm even voice-overing this, I've had to stop twice to deal with things at home. I do work from home in the summer. In the fall and spring, I do not, but my hours are very part-time, so that gives me more time to get stuff done, and I can get more stuff done when my children are in school because they are not here and asking me to get them Go-Gurts and cheese and all of that fun stuff, and then telling me they spilt their Go-Gurts on the couch, which actually happened when I was recording this video. I love my children. I love summer. I do not want the snow that is Illinois, but I think we're all ready for them to go back to school. So I have probably 4 folders of photographs left before I run out, which makes me very nervous because that's not a lot. That's maybe a month for me of inventory that I have photographed, so I need to photograph more things. In fact, as I'm talking to you, I am probably going to start photographing some other things to make those folders and bulk them back up again. I like having everything on my computer. I can do this anywhere there's Wi-Fi. If my kids have soccer practices and there's Wi-Fi available, I can take my computer and do this. I can do this during, meetings where they could have been emails, but that is my process. What takes me the longest, honestly, is photographing because I have to clean off my dining table. I do not have a separate photograph area. As you can tell in many of these photographs, they are a lovely wood table that, by the way, I got for free, like a true scavenger. But I have to clean everything off, and it's super hard to do that when the kids are in school because this is our gathering area. We really don't eat on our dining room table, but we do homework. We have, put our computers up there. A lot of times my now junior hire will bring his computer in here, and him and myself will work on our stuff together. So the table gets use, just not eating use, but that makes it equally difficult to clean off and photograph on. So I don't have the luxury of photographing a little bit here, a little bit here. I don't have the luxury of photographing every day. When I photograph, I have to take several hours and just hammer it out because it can't live in my living area. Our eBay does not live in our living area. Our eBay lives in where our cars are supposed to live, or downstairs in our climate controlled area. So I try so hard to keep it out of our house, out of our main existence. So that, and it keeps cat hair off of it, because as you can tell in several of these pictures I've had to delete out of my listing pictures, my cat is extremely nosy and wants to get into things. So if we put them in rooms he does not have access to, that limits any cat hair and cross-contamination. And I hope nobody has cat allergies that buy from me. So I do want to point out I'm listing vintage sheets in this. I used to batch list them. When I got like large quantities of them all at once, I would just list just sheets and then put them in their own tub. But the problem is I went through all of that. I have 2 huge blue IKEA bags full of sheets that I just keep pulling out of. In fact, this past week I sold 3 vintage sheets all at once. Didn't sell anything else on that day but those 3 vintage sheets, which was nice. I'm not going to complain, but I hit the algorithm somewhere. I also want to complain about this. When I did the multi-listing, granted it was a new eBay multi-listing tool, which I'm not a fan of, but I did make a video on how to use it. For some reason, it put all of my listings on free shipping with no returns. And do you know what eBay does when you put no returns on your listing? They say, yeah, you can't list that. So I had to go back, and I caught it on this round, but I had to go back and correct a lot of the listings that were pinging. I was getting the little exclamation point next to them, and it's because I had no returns on there. eBay wants you to have 30-day returns. I do, but I require shipment. So I require them to send the item back to me. This is twofold. One, you get your item back to resell, especially if it was your error. I've had seller error before. I have no problem taking this back, but I've also seen, I've always required return of item. So I've never had the issue of somebody just, spam returning things. Or like, I will say again, I've been selling since the early 2000s. I've had a couple buyers like want to hold things for ransom, but eBay stepped in and been great with that. I've not had the craziness that I see on the Reddit posts or on the Facebook forums, but I also don't sell new electronics. And I only sell very select older electronics. So I haven't had that issue. Now I have had, and you see in this listing, I'm putting fashion sizing. If it says a size that it's obviously not, so if this says it's 44, people may expect it to be quite large. This is not. This is like a European sizing, but I wouldn't even, measurement wise, I wouldn't even say it was close. Like, I didn't feel good enough saying that. So in the description, I always put vanity sizing, fashion sizing. I do that with Chico's too, because their 2 is not a 2. And you would assume someone buying for that brand would know that, but you don't want to take that for granted. So I will put that in the description. So these shoes, okay, funny thing about these shoes. I bought these shoes for my son. I loved these Pumas growing up. I remember when they first came out, they came out right around the Vans craze. I had a pair of navy blue ones. Absolutely loved these shoes growing up. And I was like, oh my God, they have these shoes. My son will love them. He never wore them. He absolutely showed no interest in them whatsoever. So I bought those shoes off of pure nostalgia. And unfortunately, they were a size too small for me because his shoes he just recently outgrew, they are now my shoes. But man, I love those shoes. Like, if they would have had them in my size, I would have bought them. If they would have had them in blue, they would have been my shoes. Like, nostalgia all the way. These jeans, there's a couple Old Navy rules here. I will buy Old Navy if it's the Rockstar jeans or if it's their famous jeans in large sizes. So this is a very large size. That's why I bought those jeans. But in general, I tend not to buy Old Navy stuff to resell. I buy Old Navy stuff for my family all the time. It's just not going to end up in my eBay store. But the Rockstar jeans will end up in my eBay store and the famous jeans in large sizes because they are more desirable, more sought after than the other types of Old Navy clothing. I don't know why I know why the Rockstars. I like the Rockstars. I will wear the Rockstar jeans, but that is the only jeans I will wear from Old Navy are Rockstar jeans. So maybe they just have a following. I'm not really into this whole new like flared wide leg jean again. I think I'm going to stick with my skinny jean. I'm happy with my skinny jean. I did have to show a couple of my students how to French roll their pants. I felt like it was the 90s. They couldn't figure out how to get their pants to stay down in their boots. So I showed them the, little cute French roll technique that we all learned in the 90s. So we had tight bottoms of our pants. So there's that. I don't know if I can get on that train of popular stuff. And quite frankly, some of the stuff they're selling in Target right now is god awful. I don't know if anybody's looked at the Target clothes for like trends. Like, I know Target's not like Nordstrom's or like hip and trendy. I don't have those stores. I have Target. Target is like the bougiest store I have within an hour of myself before I have to drive to like college towns. And the bouginess I have of Target, they're like Little House on the Prairie dresses. They don't fit well. They're really boxy crop tops too. And it's like, no. That being said though, if you have a college campus close to you, don't be like all creepy watching people, but watch the college kids and see what they're wearing. I teach a lot of adolescent-y aged students, so I can I see what trends they're doing, and I sometimes will look for that stuff when thrifting because then that's popular. So that's my advice for you. Thanks for watching this video, and please watch more of my videos in the future.